Two cozy mysteries coming up. Hi everyone, welcome to Book Talks with Miss Thomas. If you like hearing about books and you are interested in some good, clean mysteries, you are in the right place. So today I'm going to talk about two cozy mysteries that were loaned to me by my dear friend Kay, and she gave me permission to say her name on YouTube, so thank you, Kay. Kay is a friend from church, and she has loaned me a lot of books throughout the years, and she loaned me the In for a Penny, the Granny series. They were really cute, and I loved them, and she said to me, if you love those, you're really gonna like these books, and there's a cat in these books that can rival Truffles. So sorry, Truffles. But anyway, these books are cozy mysteries, and the main character, Sarah, has a cat named Elvis, or I guess Elvis has a person named Sarah because Elvis is in charge. And the first one is this one. It's called A Whole Cat and Caboodle. Although I'm not sure what the title has to do with the book. That is my only gripe about these books. They were fun and adorable, and I especially loved a cute little kitty cat. But I don't really get the titles, but the books are good. And these are the first two in the series. So this one, The Whole Cat and Caboodle, is, it just sort of sets up the mystery for you. And the main character, Sarah, she has a secondhand shop. And it's actually a good illustration. Doesn't it bother you when you get a book and the illustration has nothing to do with the book? This one, I think, is a really good illustration for this book. So she has a secondhand shop, and it's a lot of vintage things and nice things. She doesn't have room for clothing, so she sends the clothing that she gets to her friend, and her friend makes really cool, she reinvents the clothing, or she'll make a vintage quilt out of the clothing. And so they're both business owners, but it's just a unique friendship, and it's small town. And Sarah also works, and she works with these two elderly women who are friends with her grandmother. So her grandmother's off on the honeymoon, but Sarah is working with her grandmother's two elderly friends. And then there's this other elderly friend named Liz, and Liz's granddaughter works there. Her name is Avery. So Sarah works with granddaughter Avery and then the two elderly women. In this particular mystery, Sarah is teaching a class voluntarily at like a senior center when, well, first of all, she encounters this elderly man running around nude. So that's just a little silly. He wanted to be the model for the painting class, but it turns out the painting class is not painting full figures, they're just painting hands that night. So he was disappointed that he didn't get to strut all of his stuff, but he did model his hands for the class. So it was just a silly, funny little thing. There's this senior center, and Sarah's teaching this class on how to repurpose furniture, to paint furniture. And the one grandmother doesn't show up. Her name is Maddie. And so Sarah goes after the class looking for Maddie, and Maddie has encountered, her beau, her date, has been killed, and he was poisoned. And so Maddie, of course, is the prime suspect in the murder because he died at her house when he was having brunch with her in the morning. So will Sarah be able to clear sweet little old Maddie of the crime? She's gonna try, but I'll tell you what, the real hero in this story is Elvis. So this is a really cute, fun mystery. It has little old ladies, it has a murder, it has friendship and fun, and best of all, a really hilarious cat. Now, the second one in the series is called, I have to look at the titles because I don't get it. I don't know what the titles have to do with it, but this one's called Buy a Whisker, and this one also, there's Elvis. And in this one, Elvis is always sitting in her favorite chair. You know how cats do that. They take over your spot in the house. And so that's why the cover looks that way. And in this one, Sarah is in her secondhand shop with her cat Elvis when Liz, a bakery owner in the same community community is murdered. And Sarah really likes to go every morning and get her coffee from Liz. And so when Liz is killed, it affects the whole community. And Sarah begins investigating that crime, of course, with the help of Elvis. So this one's really cute too. Now in this one, there's like a real estate mogul who wants to buy a bunch of property, and Liz's bakery is right in the middle of the property, and she's the only one that won't sell. So a lot of people in the community are angry with Liz, and they egg her store, her bakery, and, you know, harass her. And so there's a couple of suspects for Liz's death because she won't sell. She's the only person that won't sell, and it affects the economy of a lot of the other business owners. So Sarah is on the case trying to resolve this crime. In this one, there's a little bit of a love interest. There's a love interest in both of them. There's this guy, Nick, and he's in both. Nick is Maddie's grandson. He's either her son or her grandson. I think Nick is Maddie's grandson. And this is the one where Maddie's beau dies during brunch. And Sarah also has a guy who works for her. He's like this retired financial guy, and he's like this financial genius, but he has retired and now he works in Sarah's vintage secondhand shop repurposing furniture, and he's a potential love interest too. So there's a little bit of romantic tension with the guys, but it's really about Elvis. He's the main squeeze if you ask me. So I definitely recommend these two books, and I will probably continue with this series because it was just so fun. And thank you, Kay, for loaning me the books.